I want to start off by saying that this isn't actually something that I came up with. A good friend of mine, Mike Van Paris, owner of the Race Engine Shop, this is something that he taught me, but I consider it to be very valuable, so I wanted to share it. Because if you don't catch this, if you make a mistake with this and you catch it at the very end of an engine build, you've got quite a few hours to solve the problem that this causes if you don't use this method. So that's why I value it so much. And here's what it is. I'll get to it. Okay, so this is a valve pocket for the piston on an LS engine, which is what I'm building. This is the exhaust valve pocket. And if it has this, then that's what I reference. If it doesn't, but it does, most pistons have an orientation top, bottom, left, right. So whatever the left side of the piston is, in this case, intake valve, and other engines, you can use this on other engines like the later LT engine, the exhaust valve is on this side. As long as you know what is on the left side of the cylinder, whether it's the exhaust valve, intake valve, or whatever, then you can use this method. But when you're assembling a new motor with an aftermarket rod, the rod has to be oriented properly. You've got a flat machined edge for the most part. There's a slight chamfer in there, or fillet edge. And then here you've got a larger chamfer machined into the rod. Hopefully you can see that. Now this goes on aftermarket crankshaft. This goes to make room for the radius that's cut into the crank, which adds a lot of strength. Factory cranks don't have it. You'll also, of course, want to make sure that if there's a chamfer in the bearing, that it goes, the chamfer in the bearing goes toward that side as well. But here's the deal. That chamfer, when you assemble this, needs to be aligned with that intake valve in this case. If it's LT again, then it needs to be aligned with the exhaust valve. But whatever's on the left side of the cylinder. If you get this wrong, well, then your pistons are going to go in upside down, or that chamfer, your motor's not going to turn if you've got an aftermarket crank, because you're not going to have room. You will have not accounted for that chamfer in the rod, and so you won't have enough space between the rods. These flat edges go toward each other, and the fillets go toward the outside. You have a pair on every crankshaft, or on every crankshaft throw, right? So that's basically it. Yeah, you get it wrong, it's going to be a bad day. So all I do when I assemble it, again, say it one more time, when I'm assembling it, I just set the chamfer up to align with the intake valve, drop my pin in, and done. Hopefully this helps somebody, saves them a lot of time. If I've helped one person, I think it's worth making the video. Thank you for watching, and please hit the like button and subscribe.